Hello everybody. I decided to play some Shadows of Doubt, a game where you're a detective doing detective things. For those that watch me play Deceive Inc., you all know I love playing Cav, and so hopefully my Cav skills will truly shine in a completely separate game. We start off by making a new city, which we rightfully named Nagoya through RNG because I'm not that creative with names, and load her up. Which it takes a fat minute to load up, but wanna play holy Alrighty, so now that we're in this new city, we decided to walk around and get our bearings on where everything is, because knowing where key locations are will be very, very useful. That is until a random stranger, for some reason, almost picks a fight with me, to which I perform a tactical retreat. Not because they would probably kick my ass, but because I'm smart, and know that fighting is not worth my time. We begin to feel a little chilly and proceed to share a burning trash can with this random woman who is probably homeless like us. We also decide to quote-unquote share her wallet with us, because if the Care Bears taught us something, it's don't get caught sharing with random strangers. We walk around some more and oops, somebody died. Oh boy. This is both good and bad news, because on one hand, we finally have a reason to exist due to this random stranger dying, and a way to get money. On the other hand, a random stranger we don't care about has died. We see this as a win-win and sprint over to the crime scene. We listen to some beautiful, non-copyrighted elevator music on the way up, only to find out the goddamn area is in lockdown. Such a waste of time. Why do we even bother? To City Hall we go to get a piece of paper. Alright, so now that we have time killed, snagging up a flimsy piece of dead tree, we head back up and thank God the lockdown is over with. Conveniently for us, the security room is on the same floor, so we do what any detective would do and break in. Inconveniently for us though, the computer has a fucking password. To compensate for these reckless actions of password cock blockery, we pilfer through everything we can find and take it as quote-unquote evidence. Well, that was a waste. Time to investigate the crime scene. Through snooping around the apartment, we find out the victim's name, their profession, place of work, a card that gives a motive, as well as tells us that it's an employee of the same place that our lovely victim works at, which makes our job 100 times easier, as well as fingerprints, which we will be using as our main source of fucking around and finding out. We also find some glorious enhancements that will be conveniently used as evidence, which will disappear shortly after the case is solved. Just compensation and tax write-off, it'll be fine. We swing by their place of work to get to snooping around some more, conveniently out of sight from the cameras because nobody should know that an investigator without a search warrant broke into an office building in search of clues. We find a note with a passcode, which we use to infiltrate the head honcho's office room, take a key, and use that key to go into the storeroom. It's there that we find out that the same fingerprints found at the crime scene is also conveniently here. We look through the employee records and oh, first page, found our culprit. Case closed! We do what any person would and go to the nearest phone booth, not to call and tell police officers, but to find out where she lives, like a stalker would. We go to her apartment, break in, arrest her while she's sleeping, which is hilarious, and get to investigating. If this skull isn't the biggest red flag I've ever seen, I don't know what is. We can't find the murder weapon, but we found everything else. So, with our head held up high, we turn in the case and rake in that sweet, sweet money. Told you I'm the best detective. Sherlock Holmes is turning in his grave. Give me a raise!